Well done, and congratulations on completing your teaching degree. Now the truly exciting time begins, teaching your own class. This presentation has been developed as a practical guide for beginning primary school teachers to help you to utilise pedagogical ideas and employ effective teaching practices in your classroom for teaching the whole child. Included in this guide is information regarding how to incorporate pastoral care and student wellbeing practices in the classroom to create a holistic approach to teaching, a range of effective teaching practices to promote good academic outcomes for your students, and a selection of effective classroom resources for the primary school classroom. The emotional, spiritual and physical welfare of your students will impact on both your teaching and their learning. Having a strong pastoral care system at school plays a fundamental role in teaching the whole child. The Victorian Government has recognised that student learning cannot be separated from student welfare. With this in mind, as a beginning teacher, you will need to include pastoral care elements in your planning processes. You can show care to your students by being friendly and approachable. Greet your students each day with a warm smile and welcome them into the classroom. Getting to know your students as individuals and their families will help you to create a positive and respectful relationship with every child. Learning your students' names and using them often. Ask how their weekend was. Take an interest in their hobbies, the sports they play, and even the movies they watch and the music they listen to. Show them that you value them as individuals. Showing a genuine interest and enthusiasm for the curriculum, the activities being undertaken, and for the practice of teaching itself. Teachers with higher enthusiasm seem better able to establish good student-teacher relations, and higher enthusiasm seems to manifest itself in higher quality teaching. As a beginning teacher, it will be important for you to draw on your knowledge of pedagogical ideas and practices to promote good academic outcomes for your students. Pedagogy refers to the method and practice of teaching. It is your role as an effective teacher to be able to apply these pedagogical ideas in your teaching practices. Some teaching practices that can promote good academic outcomes for your students include shaping your students' desirable behaviours through reinforcement using rewards. Rewards will always be more effective than sanctions in encouraging good behaviour. Creating a constructivist classroom. Constructivism is a theory of learning which holds that every learner constructs his or her ideas as opposed to receiving them complete and correct from a teacher or authority source. This construction is an internal, personal, and often unconscious process. Constructivist pedagogical ideas embrace a student-centred approach to learning that first requires you to ascertain interest levels and where the students are at prior to studying a topic. As a constructivist teacher, you can then use this point as a beginning for developing an engaging learning plan that will be better placed to cater for the range of abilities and interests in your class. Start from what the children already know and what they understand. Children learn by physically manipulating materials. You can incorporate constructivist activities in your classroom, such as experimental and investigative tasks, model making, excursions, and research projects. An important consideration to make as a primary school teacher is the use of your classroom space. The physical arrangement of your classroom can influence the students' behaviour and learning. Arranging your students' desks in groups will help to facilitate small group discussions and a collaborative approach to learning. If you would like a configuration more conducive to discussions and fluid movement, you might wish to consider a rounded or horseshoe configuration of tables. Remember that the desks in your classroom are not permanent fixtures and should be rearranged to best accommodate different learning activities. You may consider zoning areas of the classroom for different purposes. A mat for class discussions, library corner for individual reading, computer area for ICT needs, and a wet area for creative activities are all ideas to contemplate.
Created using Powtoon.